She will not be participating in the All-Star game or the three-point contest.
Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, is going to miss WNBA All-Star game and the three-point contest.
A long career ahead, and you don't want this injury to continue jumping around her leg and then it turns into something more serious.
I was getting excited to watch Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson on the same team.
Caitlin Clark's out of the All-Star game.
NBA Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that she could be out.
What if the biggest star in women's basketball walked away from the WNBA for good? Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's Golden Girl, has the sports world buzzing with one burning question. Is she about to leave the league after her latest injury? Just days ago, Clark announced she's missing the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, her own city's showcase, because of a right groin injury that's got fans, analysts, and even NBA bosses like Adam Silver sounding the alarm. Rumors are swirling that Clark's had enough of the WNBA's chaos, from brutal fouls to questionable leadership, and with her star power driving billions in revenue, her next move could shake the sports world to its core. Let's dive into this wild story. Here's why Caitlin Clark's future is the talk of the town, and what's really going on behind the scenes.
I'll leave the specific question about the foul to my colleague, Commissioner Engelbert. I mean, I other than as a fan, obviously, you know, it's nothing new in basketball that there's sort of welcome to the league moments, especially for heralded rookies. But of course, I want to see Caitlin treated fairly.
First, picture this. Indianapolis, July 2025. The city's buzzing with WNBA All-Star fever. Caitlin Clark's face is plastered everywhere, on billboards, airport banners, even a 30-story hotel wrap. She's not just a player, she's the face of the league, the reason millions tune in. She was set to captain Team Clark, dazzling fans in her home arena, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. But then, Thursday afternoon, a bombshell dropped. Clark announced she's out of the All-Star game and the three-point contest, sidelined by a right groin injury from a game against the Connecticut Sun. Fans watched her limp off the court, banging her head on the basket stanchion in frustration, tears welling up as she draped a towel over her face. It was a gut punch moment, not just for Clark, but for a league that's built its 2025 hype around her. Indianapolis branded this weekend as her moment, and now she's stuck on the sidelines. But this isn't just about one missed game, it's part of a much bigger storm brewing. What's got Clark, the WNBA's golden goose, so beat up she can't play?
There she would be. Shortly before the show, Clark released this statement through the Fever's social media account saying that she's so excited for Indiana to host WNBA All-Star this weekend and that she says she knows that this is going to be the best All-Star yet. But she does go on to say how incredibly sad and, quote, disappointed she will be to not be able to participate, adding, quote, I have to rest my body. I'll still be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for all of the action. I'm looking forward to helping Sandy coach our team.
Let's talk about Clark's injury woes, because they're piling up fast. This is a player who never missed a game in college or her rookie WNBA season. They called her the Iron Woman at Iowa, breaking records left and right, becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer. But in 2025, her second pro season, it's been a different story. Back in May, a left quad strain knocked her out for 5 games. In June, a left groin injury sidelined her again, including a tough loss to the LA Sparks. And now, this right groin injury from July 15th suffered in the final minute of a win over the Connecticut Sun. She was assisting on a clutch basket when she tweaked her leg, hobbling off in pain. Sports analyst Rachel Dia pointed out something chilling. Clark's injuries are jumping from quad to groin, now back to groin. That's not random bad luck. That's a sign something's mechanically wrong, likely from the constant physical pounding she's taking on the court. For a player who was untouchable for years, why is Clark suddenly breaking down? The answer might lie in a game that turned into a war zone.
In terms of the comments, in terms of the way the commissioner, Cathy Engelbert, who I've known and I like, the way she has trouble talking about Caitlin Clark or if she's asked about Caitlin, then she will say, well, Caitlin and Angel. Well, she wasn't asked about Angel. She was asked about Caitlin. This incredible inability to deal with the facts and to state the obvious. It is astounding to me how Cathy Engelbert doesn't come out after the Marina Mabry hit and say, that's unacceptable. The refs got it wrong. Okay, should have been kicked out then. You weren't, but now.
Rewind to June 18th, 2025 against the Connecticut Sun. This wasn't just a basketball game, it was a battle. Clark was targeted, plain and simple. In the second quarter, J.C. Sheldon got overly aggressive, sparking a confrontation. Then, Marina Mabry stepped in, shoving Clark after a dead ball. No call at first, just a technical foul, until public outrage forced the WNBA to upgrade it to a flagrant 2, ejecting Mabry. By the end, the game had 5 technicals, 3 ejections, and 2 flagrant fouls. Fever coach Stephanie White didn't hold back, calling the officiating egregious and disrespectful. She said the refs lost control, letting physicality spiral into chaos.
The ball handler, there's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab. I mean,
all of those are
fouls. Every single one of them. And here, that's a foul, and finally they call.
WNBA legend Rebecca Lobo, broadcasting live, was just as blunt. There's a grab, there's a hold, another grab, those are fouls, every single one. Even Clark's brother, Colin, took to social media, tweeting, "Make no mistake, this is on the refs," blaming them for his sister's injuries. Fans were livid, starting online petitions demanding accountability. When a game gets so out of hand that players, coaches, and family are calling out the refs, is it just bad officiating, or a sign the league's letting Clark get roughed up?
Who is played 9 years in Indiana and now on the staff. And that's a live shot now of Caitlin.
This brings us to the WNBA's leadership, or lack of it. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's been under fire, and for good reason. When asked about Clark, she often deflects, mentioning other players like Angel Reese instead of hyping the league's biggest draw. Sports columnist Christine Brennan called her out, saying Engelbert's failure to promote Clark is organizational incompetence. The numbers back this up. The WNBA saw 141 injuries in 2025, with just 179 active players. That's a staggering injury rate, and Clark's taken 17% of the league's flagrant fouls, according to kinesiologist Dr. Lucas C. Hafer. Engelbert's response to officiating complaints? A smug, "No winning team ever complains about refs." That's not leadership, that's brushing off a crisis. Coaches like Stephanie White are fed up, saying the league's known about officiating issues for years, but does nothing. White's rant after the Sun game was brutal. Everybody's getting better except the officials. When your star player's getting slammed to the floor and your commissioner shrugs, is it any wonder fans are starting to whisper that Clark might walk away? Here's where it gets juicy. The rumors. Social media has been buzzing with speculation that Clark's done with the WNBA. Some fans say she should head to Europe, where salaries can be higher and physicality less brutal. Others, like sports columnist Jason Whitlock, suggest she could start a rival league, pointing to her low WNBA salary, $84,514 in 2025, compared to her $28 million Nike deal. Ice Cube even offered her $10 million to join the Big Three League, with merch deals and team ownership, but Clark turned it down, saying she's committed to the WNBA still. YouTube channels like Hoop Sports Updates have posted clickbait videos claiming she's signed with European teams. Total nonsense, debunked by Clark herself. But these rumors aren't coming from nowhere. They're fueled by frustration. Fans see Clark getting battered, underpaid, and underprotected, while the WNBA rakes in billions thanks to her. With her injuries piling up and the league failing to step up, could Clark really be thinking about a drastic move? It's all speculation, but the buzz is growing louder. Let's talk dollars and cents because Clark's impact is mind-blowing. In 2024, she drove a 181% spike in WNBA viewership, with Fever games averaging 1.84 to 2.54 million viewers. She's responsible for 26.5% of the league's economic activity, potentially $875 million to $1 billion in 2025, according to finance expert Ryan Brewer. Her Iowa college games drew record-breaking audiences, like 14.2 million for the 2024 Final Four. But when she's out, disaster. Nationally televised WNBA games dropped 55%, from 1.81 million to 847,000 viewers. Betting markets crashed by 50% without her. Even the Fever's social media engagement tanks 38% when she's sidelined. Clark's not just a player, she's the WNBA's economic engine. Her return game in July drew 2.2 million viewers, up 76% from last season's average. So why is the league risking its biggest asset? With her face on every billboard in Indianapolis, her absence from the All-Star game isn't just a personal blow. It's a financial catastrophe. Now, let's add another layer: the WNBA's looming labor crisis. The collective bargaining agreement expires October 31st, 2025, and players are fed up. Clark herself called out the absurdity of the Commissioner's Cup paying more than the WNBA Finals, $11,356 per player for a championship, pocket change compared to her net worth. Players like Satu Sabali say the 44-game season is not responsible, linking it to the injury epidemic. With CBA talks stalling and a possible lockout on the horizon, Clark's absence from the All-Star game, right as players negotiate for better pay and conditions, feels like a breaking point. NBA Commissioner Adam Silvers even weighed in, saying he wants Clark treated fairly in the WNBA. That's not just friendly advice, that's a warning. If the WNBA can't protect its biggest star, could Clark start looking at other options? Europe, a new league, or even a break from basketball altogether? So, what's next for Caitlin Clark? She's got choices. She could stay with the Fever, fighting through injuries and pushing for a championship, her stated goal for 2025. She could explore overseas leagues where players often earn more during the off-season, though her massive endorsements make that less necessary. Or in a wild twist, she could inspire a new women's basketball league, one that values and protects its stars. Clark's debunked the Europe rumors herself, saying she's almost definitely not playing this offseason. But the frustration is real. Fans are signing petitions, demanding better officiating to keep her safe. On X, supporters are vocal, with one saying, "Caitlin Clark should leave the WNBA for Europe. They don't deserve her." Another called her bigger than the league. The WNBA's growth, 54 million viewers in 2024, a $2.2 billion media deal, rides on Clark's shoulders. If the league keeps failing her, will she really stick around? Caitlin Clark's taken the WNBA to new heights, smashing viewership records and filling arenas. But with injuries mounting, refs failing her, and league leadership faltering, the WNBA's risking its biggest star. Fans are furious, rumors are swirling. Could Clark really leave? If the league doesn't step up, she might. What do you think? Should Clark stay or go? Share below and let's talk.